For now, me and my wife can afford things, and I know prices are going to go double on everything, if not triple. And we're still okay, I think. But what about the people that don't have the money? What about the people that could only afford what they could now? Now they ain't going to be able to afford that. What's going to happen with them? I don't like what I'm seeing at all. And it's only been, what, 9 days, 10? It's today, the 2nd.
A lot of young people in the last election switched their vote from Democrats to Republicans. Donald Trump got more young voters than Joe Biden got in 2020.
I am a young, vibrant man. I look at Joe. I don't know about him. I don't know.
There is now evidence that those young people are souring on what Donald Trump is doing. And that's a real problem for the White House. They are concerned about it because it was young people that sort of helped tip Donald Trump over the edge and winning the 2024 election. So obviously young people's role in politics is important. It's important when you raise your voices in colleges. It's important when you actually turn out and vote. It was young people actually that helped get Joe Biden elected back in 2020.
Biden, wake up. Joe Biden, wake up.
Young people are always dismissed, weirdly, as a voting bloc in American politics, but in the last couple of elections, they've been an incredibly powerful force. They don't vote in as high numbers proportionally as old people do, but they vote in high enough numbers increasingly that they can actually tip the way the White House goes.
I'm sorry, regretting your vote is like setting my house on fire and then getting the water hose to try to put the fire out. And let me be clear. Everything that's happening now was discussed prior to November 5th. During the entire campaign, we talked about Project 2025. We talked about terrorists. We talked about him being a 34-count felon who doesn't abide by the law. We said all of this. And yet and still, on November 5th, you made a decision. I honestly don't think it's a regret on what's happening. I think you thought this administration was going to set those minorities straight, and you didn't think there was going to be universal chaos. I don't think you knew the widespread impact it would have. So spare me the regret. The regret is self-serving, and I don't want to hear it. I personally did not vote for Trump. I voted for the closest candidate that aligned with my vision for my America, the America that I served, right? I have been personally impacted. My husband's work has decreased. My sister-in-law, her position is being redefined. My son, who goes to an HBCU, has lost some funding. And here I am. I'm a little angry. I'm going to be all right. But my point is, spare me the regret. You knew what you voted for. You just didn't know what you voted for was going to impact you.
It's been a few days since I lost my job. I posted a few days ago, and I am now thoroughly regretting my vote for Trump. I had no idea that this is where it was going to go, that this is what he was going to do. You see Cheetos up there? Hi, Cheetos. Who's going to feed him? Who's going to buy my cat food? Who's going to buy my kids food? I had an absolutely amazing position where I was able to basically have America count on me. And now that's been taken away. I no longer have faith in the economy. I no longer have faith in Trump. I no longer have faith that we are ever going to find out how many licks it takes to get to the center of a Tootsie Pop. I no longer have that faith. It's gone. So you can crack all the jokes you want to. You can make fun of us all you want. But I was earning $45 a minute in hopes of figuring out how many licks it took to get to the center of a Tootsie Pop. And now the world may never know.
I did vote for Trump, and now I will deal with the aftermath of the tariffs. I compared 2024 first quarter to 2025 first quarter. I am down 70%. I'm not willing to say that that's due to the decisions of the administration yet, because my business does run in cycles. When it comes to the items that I import directly from China, like the pens, pencils, coffee mugs, keychains, calculators, That's all been affected immediately. I also had a quote for rubber ducks that I was working on, 5,000 rubber ducks. And my unit cost went from below 30 cents to just below 50 cents overnight. Consequently, that order of ducks is on hold. I also have 10,000 poker chips on hold. I have 2,000 hats on hold. This is all merchandise I could be selling right now. Yes, I do have some investments that are down, which is affecting me on the personal side. Now we're not sure which direction we want to go.
Now listen, I don't hear Trump talking about the economy anymore. Do any of you hear him talking about lowering the price of eggs and all that? He don't talk about none of that no more. No. What he is talking about is how he gonna get that Greenland. That's what he's saying, how he gonna get Greenland. He ain't thinking about the economy. He ain't thinking about helping people. Because he too worried about how he gonna get Greenland, how he gonna get Canada, how he gonna keep the corruption going. That's all he worried about. He ain't concerned about you, Trumpsters. I think you all done found out now that you all been bamboozled, flim-flammed. Oh, shit. Shanghai, whatever you want to say, you all done been had. Yeah, you have.
In the 2016, 2020, and 2024 elections, farmers across the United States overwhelmingly voted for Donald Trump. Now, in 2016, that was not a good decision. In 2020, that was kind of dumb. In 2024, that was very stupid. Because at least in 2016, right, like, we didn't know what was going to happen, but we did know that he promised mass deportations and to build a wall, which of course would directly hurt farmers. In 2020, Trump had already had a trade war going for 2 years that cost farmers so much that it sent a record number of farmers into bankruptcy and caused the administration to have to send out billions of dollars in personal checks just to keep farms afloat. So in 2024, when Donald Trump was promising both mass deportations and more tariffs, you would think that farmers would have caught on by now, right? Like, hey, we got screwed the first time. We got screwed with the tariffs. We got screwed with the immigration thing. Maybe let's not vote for the guy who's promising to do all of that on steroids. But they did. And all of us across the country, of course, are paying the price for that. And these farmers are pissed off. Rightfully so. Like, you have every right to be pissed off if you didn't vote for Trump. But these farmers that recently spoke to the media did in fact vote for Donald Trump, and now they're trying to say that we didn't know this was going to happen. Let me read you a couple of these quotes. "We're just in such a state of shock. We just don't really even know how to respond to all this," talking about the on-again, off-again trade war. "We thought this was sacred and really untouchable," also referring to, by the way, cuts to the U.S. Department of Agriculture that stopped payments to farmers under a program that was started under Biden. So it's just quite a shock and very devastating. Everyone thinks all farmers voted for this, but we did not vote for this.
I know you told me you voted for President Trump. What were you hoping that he would do?
I was hoping he would did something that made sense regarding the economy, made some kind of progress in bettering, the benefits of being a veteran. But I mean, it just seemed like he actually cared about doing what was best for the country, but now it just feels like all about me, Donald Trump, not, the guy out there working in the trenches trying to make ends meet, trying to pay a mortgage, trying to pay the bills. It goes against everything I expected when, I voted for him.
So you're not satisfied with what you said?
No. And it doesn't even have to do with anything about me getting fired. I mean, if I had gotten fired as part of the, government, cutting government spending, I would have been fine with that. I can accept that. But he's not delivering on anything he said he was going to do. So what's your real game plan? It doesn't make sense to me.
There are some things that he promised to do that he has put in place. I mean, there are executive orders that he's done, that he said that he was going to do. You don't feel like he's lived up to those promises?
I mean, where are the results? I mean, seriously, prices are still going up. We're now in the middle of a tariff war with a bunch of countries that used to be our steadfast allies. I mean, how do you make an enemy of Canada? They're right next to us, and they've been one of our premier allies and commerce partners for, seriously, like what, centuries now?
And he did say that he was going to put tariffs in place. Did you just not think that they would be implemented in this particular way?
I didn't think they were going to be put in play in a juvenile way. I mean, where was the attempt to actually talk to the heads of these other countries like, hey, I feel you have unfair tariffs against our products. I'd like to talk about it first. And if we can't work out some kind of resolution, then I feel to protect our people, we need to implement this kind of tariff. There was no attempt at even talking to the other countries.
Listen, I think a lot of people voted for Donald Trump because they took him seriously when he said that his number one priority was going to be lowering costs, and they didn't take him seriously when he said he was going to be a dictator, right? Well, it turned out that he wasn't serious about lowering your costs, and he was serious about being a dictator, right? And so you got a lot of people in this country, you got a lot of people in North Carolina, conservative folks, who thought that this guy cared about the rule of law and that he also cared about lowering prices, who are seeing the real story right now.